Engine, gearbox, transfer box, exhaust, tank, axles, everything's on. I've got to fit the brake lines, which are over there. And then it's a matter of putting the body back on. See, this has taken so long. It's fought us every step of the way. I've still got to actually tap a couple of bolts. Tap a couple of threads for some bolts. And then, yeah, get the rad pack back on. Get the body prepared. We've found a couple of holes while digging around under the muck that's on it. There. So I've got a chap coming to weld that up for us. And then finally it can go back together and get out of my way, because my ramp is obviously taken up. It's been on there about 3 or 4 weeks. So every other job I've had to either sub out or do on the floor. And I'm getting old and I can't do stuff on the floor. So, yeah. So it's getting there. Fingers crossed it won't be much longer. Yes, it's still here. Found some holes. Well, obviously that's a bigger hole. But yeah, there was a little hole in the end plate. Dug around a bit. And there's holes all in the seal. To pick the mount off was going to be a bit of a pain in the backside. So we ordered this little kit from Easy On Panels. Comes with the inner seal, outer seal, a new mount hardware, and I presume they're the clips for the outer trim. So it's still up here. This has got to be stripped off. The interior from this side has got to be stripped off, obviously to save it from fire. We've got to suspend it, probably with the transmission jack, to be able to get the leg out of the way. The other end was not as bad, so that has been welded up, little bits fabricated, so that's got to be tidied up and painted and protected. The mount is, surface rust, but it's not rotten, so that will go again. So yeah, so that's that kit. And then once that's all done, we can eventually get the bloody chassis back under it. It's been a bit of a testing time, I must say. I love Paul to bits, but I'll be glad to see the back of him. So yeah, that's where we're at with this one. I've still got to get a 12mm drill bit, I've just remembered, and a tap just to get that on. And then I think we're good to go. Right, even though the welding isn't finished yet on this back seal, it's not been boxed in or the body mount been put on. It's going back on the body today, on the chassis today. It's been up there 8 weeks. I can't wait any longer. Sorry, I'm out of breath. We're just rotating all that round on my own. I can't wait any longer. I need the ramp back. As I say, it's been 8 weeks. There's other jobs I've got to get done that are queuing up, let alone work on my own stuff. So today it's going back down. It'll just rest on for now, I think. Hopefully the welding can be done with it in situ. Otherwise it's going to have to come in and be lifted off again for the welding. But for now, it's going back down. Well, the Discovery's back on the ramp and the man is back to finish the last bit of welding. Once that's done, we can button up the rest of it and get the thing driving out of here. Not a moment too soon. Right, well, the welder's finished. We've got an end. We've got a sill. I don't know if you'll be able to see. And we've got a body mount on there. So now I've got to button a few of the last bits and pieces up, do a nut and bolt check, sort the brake lines out on the front. The back ones I think are done. Yes, do a nut and bolt check, go around, check everything, do all the chassis mounts. Obviously I've now got to put a bolt in the in that rear one, and then get it down on the floor, make sure everything's connected up with the engine, put some fluids in it, and hopefully it will be a runner and it can go out the door. So I'll crack on and report back when it's done. Well, it's running, but with one problem. The fuel pump is not getting power, so I've got to find that. So I've just plugged some 12 volt into the fuel pump so I can see that it's working. So yeah, so now we've got to find out why we haven't got power to the fuel pump. Right, had a bit of a play off camera, just so I can show you. Now, relay 1 in the fuse box is for fuel. Relay 1 is here. Now, and basically that back pin there, 5, you can just about see that, I think, 5, which is technically pin 87, I think, is the feed to the pump. So I've put, alright, a crude live straight in there, over to the battery, and we've still got no fuel pump. So that tells me there's a problem between here and the fuel pump. Now, I've just taken this off just to look for the crank sensor, and I've noticed this. This is unplugged. And what have we got there? Ooh, a purple and white, which is the colour we need for the fuel pump. So, quick test, take it off there. It's on the live. Put it on there. The fuel pump's going. So we've simply not plugged something in. So I've just got to find the other end of that plug. And job's a good one. Right. There's the other end of it. Tucked under there. So with that in, we can put the relay back in. And we can do the bleed procedure. Now, if you ever run out of fuel in a TD5, what you've got to do is put your ignition on. Oh! You can probably hear the fuel pump now. Press the accelerator 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you see the the EML light flashing. That's going now through its bleed procedure. Typical, just as I cancelled, the fuel pump stopped. Oh, there you go. It's come back on again because it's doing its bleed procedure. So in a minute, the pump will stop again, and then it'll probably start again until it's bled enough to start. Now, when you change the fuel filter or you run out of fuel, whatever silly things, this is what you normally have to do to get it to start. Now, the battery on this car is completely dead, so I'm gonna have to chuck some jump leads on it just to make sure it starts and runs. But now the fuel pump's working, I can't see any problem. There you go, look, it's gone off again. Light's still flashing, so it'll probably, yeah, there you go, come on again. Right, well, it's running, it's driving. It's obviously not very clean. It's not finished yet. It's obviously missing them headlight trims. The side steps aren't back on. But other than a front number plate, it's ready for an MOT. I'm going to chuck it through, see what it needs. I have heard there's a rotational noise when you drive along, and I've had a little look, and I think the pillow ball in between the two UJs on the front double carbon pop has gone because it's rattling around in there. The UJs are solid, so it's just that pillow ball, which is just like a bearing between the two to sort of stop it from rattling about and moving. But yeah, so we'll get it in for an MOT. We'll see if it needs anything else. I wouldn't have thought so because everything's been changed. And then it can go off to its new home. It's had a coolant change. I've just put normal water in it to start with. That's been drained out, and antifreeze coolant mix has been put in. So, other than an MOT, that's it for this one. I will let you know how it gets on. Speak to you shortly. Well, the Range Rover's off the road again for the same issue, back in the garage for the 4th time to try and rectify the ABS issue. So the 90 has been taken over as the towing vehicle, and we're off for its MOT. I'll come back once it's been through. Right, well, we're back from the MOT. It passed. Had to put a front number plate on it because it was slightly spaced wrong. The wipers are advised, the rear discs are advised, and obviously the prop is advised. Now, the rear discs are just pitted as scored or covered in grot, but I put that down to the vehicle not actually moving anywhere for a fair few months. So, yeah, set of wipers and the prop, and that's pretty much it. I'll show you that. I've had the prop off yesterday. Once we come back from MOT, I dropped the oil out as well, put some fresh new oil in, and got the prop off, and I'll show you that now, what's got to be replaced. Right, and the prop, as you can see, the double carbon prop, that's obviously the gearbox, sorry, transfer box flange end, and in between there goes this ball. Well, a spring sits in the middle of there, and as you can see, that is toast. I don't know what the hell's happened there. It's got squashed. Then that ball sits over that spring and in that cup, but it's supposed to have a bearing around it. And there's not a lot left of the bearing. All the needles have disappeared. So that is why it was rattling around. So got a new one of them on order. It's going to take a few days apparently, and then it can go back on. So I think we'll call that a day with this one. And yeah, so thanks for watching. Like, subscribe and share. We've got a P38 Galv chassis coming up next couple of weeks. A few other videos as well. So keep watching. Thanks a lot. See you soon.